Life, a tapestry woven from a myriad of emotions ranging from the vibrant hues of joy and happiness to the somber shades of despair and sorrow. On this ever-changing journey, our souls are like small boats adrift on a vast ocean, inevitably tossed and turned by the storms of challenges and adversity. At times, we find ourselves lost in a labyrinth of resentment and anger, feeling weary and disheartened by the injustices and hardships that life throws our way. Have you ever tormented yourself over past mistakes, allowing simmering anger to cling to your soul like a poisonous vine, dragging you into darkness and causing you to lose sight of your true self? But believe that this rage is not eternal. It's merely a natural reaction to the thorns along life's path. Just as violent waves eventually dissolve into the vastness of the sea, the storms within our hearts will also pass if we have the courage to confront and overcome them. Today, let's embark on a special journey together, a journey of discovering inner peace and liberating our souls from the shackles of anger. Take a deep breath, close your eyes, and listen to the gentle whispers of your heart. Let meaningful stories and profound philosophies guide us on this path. I hope that these heartfelt sharings will help you find serenity, forgiveness, and gratitude. Subscribe to my channel so we can heal together and rediscover the light within our souls. Now, let's begin this magical adventure. Amidst the ups and downs of life, anger surges like a whirlwind, scorching the soul and leaving deep emotional scars. It's not just a fleeting outburst, but a mirror reflecting a soul burdened with dark corners. When rage erupts, we become lost in a labyrinth of negativity. Resentment, hostility, and envy surround us, drowning us in the darkness of uncontrolled emotions. Words become sharp as knives, actions impulsive, leaving us with nothing but regret. This anger, like a dense fog, obscures our rational mind, leading us to make wrong decisions, hurting both ourselves and those around us. Stoic philosophy, like a guiding lighthouse, reveals that anger is a consequence of distorted thoughts and warped perceptions of life. When we don't achieve what we desire, when we feel injustice or hurt, anger easily arises as a natural reflex. But let's pause for a moment, look deep within, and we'll see that those thoughts often don't reflect the truth. We exaggerate events, blame others, and avoid seeing the issue objectively. These distorted thoughts, like poisonous seeds sown in the soil of our souls, silently germinate and take root deep within our subconscious. They gradually form a thick layer of toxins enveloping our hearts, making us gloomy and pessimistic. With just a small external trigger, be it an unintentional word or a disapproving look, this layer of toxins is activated, causing anger to erupt violently like a volcano. When anger flares up, we often blame others, believing they are the cause of our suffering. However, if we look deeper into the nature of anger, we realize it doesn't originate from the outside but from within our own consciousness. Like a seed sown in the earth, the seed of anger already exists within each of us. It can lie dormant for a long time, causing no trouble. But when the conditions are right, it will sprout and grow into a furious rage. The favorable conditions here are external influences, such as words, actions of others, or events that don't go as planned. However, not everyone reacts the same way to these triggers. Some remain calm, while others easily get angry. This shows that the main cause of anger lies not in external triggers, but in the seed of anger within each person. This seed can vary in strength. In people who are easily angered, this seed has been watered too much in the past. It could be due to them having experienced much hurt, loss, or being raised in an environment filled with anger and violence. Gradually, it grows stronger, overwhelming other positive seeds like understanding, love, and compassion. And then, It can easily be triggered by the smallest things. A careless word, an unkind look, can cause them to fly into a rage. They lose the ability to control their emotions, letting anger guide their actions. Are you still with me? If so, please comment with the number 1 so I know I'm not alone on this journey. Life is like a rushing river, inevitably filled with collisions and pushes that make us stumble. When someone angers us, that anger flares up like a fire within, burning our hearts and causing immense pain. Our instincts urge us to retaliate, to make the other person experience similar pain, hoping that such action will alleviate our own suffering. But is this truly a wise solution? Does revenge truly lessen our pain, or does it merely intensify the flames of anger, consuming all that is good within us? We mistakenly believe that expressing everything without restraint is a sign of honesty and sincerity. However, it is not honesty, but rather a lack of maturity and resilience. But why do we experience these negative emotions? Could it be due to our own powerlessness in the face of life's difficulties and challenges? When we fail to achieve our goals or solve problems, we easily fall into a negative state, blaming our circumstances or others. We become indignant and resentful, but it's all just an escape and unwillingness to confront ourselves. If we are right, there's no need for anger. The truth is on our side, and we don't need harsh words to defend ourselves. If we are wrong, we have even less right to be angry. When we realize our mistakes, the right thing to do is to correct and change, not to vent our anger on others. The human soul is like a lake. If the lake is shallow, even a small handful of salt can make it bitter. But if the lake is deep and vast, even throwing in a whole handful of salt won't change its sweetness. Similarly, a person with a shallow soul is easily affected by negative emotions, prone to anger and resentment. But a person with a deep and generous soul knows how to control their emotions, keeping their heart at peace amidst life's storms. So how can we control these negative emotions? The answer lies within ourselves. We need to cultivate an open mind, a compassionate heart, a cool head, and a resilient spirit. Learn to perceive things objectively and calmly, not letting emotions overpower reason. Learn to listen, understand, and empathize with others so that we can share and support them. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so we can continue together in many more lessons to come. To master emotional intelligence, we need to understand that anger is not a natural reaction to insults or actions of others, but a reflection of the anxieties and darkness within ourselves. When someone offends us, we feel hurt not because of their words, but because they stir up the deep-seated pain and insecurity within. Truly wise individuals do not easily let anger consume them. They understand that anger is merely a fleeting emotion, a dark cloud obscuring reason. Instead of reacting impulsively, they choose to observe, listen, and understand. They know that behind harsh words and negative actions often lies the helplessness and suffering of others. On the contrary, those who boast about their anger, those who always seek to punish and retaliate, are actually the weak and ignorant ones. They fail to realize that anger is like a double-edged sword, cutting both others and themselves. When we harbor resentment, we imprison ourselves in a cage of suffering. Every curse, every thought of resentment is like a poisoned arrow, not only aimed at others, but also piercing our own souls. We are defeated, not by external enemies, but by the anger raging within. Instead of dwelling on what we despise, let's use that energy to nurture and cherish what we love. For love is the infinite source of strength that helps us overcome all difficulties and challenges. When faced with anger, we have two choices: either surrender and succumb to negative emotions, or rise up and fight, finding peace within our souls. But instead of advancing and shouting, try taking a step back, smiling, and seeing things from a different perspective. Those who hate us are, in essence, just awkwardly admiring us. They yearn to be like us but lack the courage to admit it. And those who make us angry can only do so when we allow them to enter our inner world. Eliminate those who sow anger by not letting them bother us. Defeat evil with love and forgiveness. Help the needy and speak the truth to liars. Anger often comes unexpectedly, so quickly that we don't even realize it. But if we know how to listen to the voice of our hearts, we will find true peace and happiness. Let love guide us so that we can live a more meaningful and fulfilling life. To escape the cycle of anger, we need to learn to love ourselves, accept our weaknesses and imperfections. When we love and respect ourselves, we will no longer feel hurt by the words or actions of others. We will have enough confidence to face life's challenges and not let anger control our minds. Remember, procrastination is the best medicine for anger. When we feel like we're about to lose control, take a deep breath, count to 10, or simply leave the situation. Time will help us see things more clearly and make wiser decisions. Anger is just a temporary emotion. It doesn't define you. Don't let it become a part of you. Don't let it control your thoughts and actions. When you're truly angry, find a healthy way to release it, such as writing in a journal, exercising, or simply taking deep breaths and counting to 4. Anger often stems from a mismatch between reality and ideals. When we accept that life is not perfect, that everyone has flaws, we can more easily forgive and let go. Remember, anger is its own punishment. It only brings suffering and loss to both you and those around you. Anger is a sign of weakness, while forgiveness and compassion are true strengths. Choose the path of wisdom and love to live a peaceful, happy, and meaningful life. Turn anger into motivation for self-improvement and growth. Instead of letting it consume your soul, use it to illuminate the world around you. When we know how to transform negative energy into positive, we become a better version of ourselves. Have you ever found yourself teetering on the edge of suffering, where waves of anger relentlessly surge, pushing you into a vortex of despair? Why must you endure such pain and torment every second, every hour, every day? Why not find a way to overcome it, to reach another shore where the soul is liberated from the shackles of resentment, where peace and happiness reign? There is a boat waiting for you, ready to take you to that bright shore. It's not a physical boat, but a boat of practice, of mindfulness, and of returning to yourself. When you learn to calm your mind, to observe your emotions and thoughts without judgment, you'll be able to see deep into the depths of pain, of anger, of despair, and from there, a peaceful smile will bloom on your lips. Mindful breathing is the oar that guides your boat gently on the river of life. With each inhale, you breathe in peace and tranquility. With each exhale, you release worries and anxieties. Gradually, you'll find your soul becoming lighter and more serene. The waves of anger will no longer have the power to drown you, but will merely be ripples on the surface of your consciousness. Don't let yourself be a victim of anger forever. Don't let it gnaw at your soul and turn you into a bitter, petty person. Remember, deep within each person's soul lies a seed of love, of peace. If you know how to nurture and care for it, that seed will sprout and grow into a beautiful flower, radiating a fragrant aroma. Freedom from anger is not an illusion or a distant dream. It's a real state of mind that anyone can achieve through practice. Believe in yourself. Believe in the transformative power of your soul. Let mindfulness illuminate your path, guiding you through life's challenges and difficulties. On the other side of the river, a beautiful world awaits you. It's a world of peace, joy, love, and forgiveness. There, you will find true freedom, no longer bound by negative emotions. There, you will be able to live a more meaningful and fulfilling life. So what are you waiting for? Step onto the boat of mindfulness. Let it take you to the shore of happiness. Untie your soul. Free yourself from the shackles of anger. Let love guide you so you can shine like a star in the night sky. Stoic philosophy teaches that when anger arises, the most important thing is to return to oneself, to care for the house of the soul that is on fire. Don't let anger overwhelm reason, causing us to act recklessly. Say nothing. Do nothing. Just focus on the breath, observing the emotions unfolding within. Imagine our mind as a clear lake. When anger arises, the surface becomes turbulent and murky. But if we know how to remain still, without further agitation, gradually the lake will calm down and become clear again. Similarly, when we know how to observe anger without reacting or judging, it will naturally dissipate. Chasing after punishing others is like abandoning our burning house to chase the arsonist. The house will burn down while we're busy chasing the culprit, and in the end we gain nothing but exhaustion and disappointment. Recognizing the nature of anger is the first step to mastering it. When we understand that anger is not an enemy from the outside, but a part of ourselves, we can begin to face it calmly and consciously. We can observe the anger arising within us without judgment or resistance, simply acknowledging it. When we observe anger mindfully, we will see it gradually subside and lose its power. We will no longer be controlled by it, no longer let it dictate our actions. We will be able to make wiser decisions and act with more composure and compassion. In this bustling and ever-changing life, full of challenges and trials, we are often caught in a whirlwind of emotions, joy, sadness, anger, disappointment, all intertwined, creating a colorful picture within each person's soul. And in moments of heightened emotions, especially when anger arises, maintaining calmness is not easy. However, calmness is not a sign of weakness. On the contrary, it requires patience, awareness, and extraordinary mental strength. Calmness does not mean ignoring or suppressing emotions, but the ability to recognize, understand, and control them. When we are calm, our soul is like a tranquil lake, reflecting clearly all the emotional states happening within. We can look deep within ourselves, identify the existing emotions, and from there understand their causes and find appropriate responses. In anger, calmness is a precious remedy that soothes the surging waves of emotions. When we are angry, our minds are often clouded by negative thoughts, making us prone to acting recklessly and causing regrettable consequences. But when we are calm, we can see the problem more objectively and clearly. We can analyze the situation, find the true cause of the anger, and from there, find an effective solution to the problem. Calmness is also the key to listening to the voice of our souls. When we are angry, there are often other emotions hidden beneath, such as sadness, hurt, or disappointment. Through calmness, we can listen and understand these hidden emotions, thereby finding a way to resolve the issue completely, not only extinguishing the flames of anger, but also healing the wounds of the heart. Maintaining calmness in anger is also a way to cultivate strength and self-control. When we can control our emotions, we are no longer their slaves. We can choose how to react wisely, not letting emotions dictate our actions. Calmness helps us stand our ground, not get caught up in pointless arguments, and not let harsh words hurt others and ourselves. A person who can remain calm in anger is someone with admirable mental strength. They not only have the ability to control their emotions, but also to spread peace and positivity to those around them. They are the ones who can resolve conflicts peacefully, build good relationships, and create positive changes in life. However, tranquility is not a natural state that people can easily achieve. It requires persistent practice, mindfulness, and strong willpower. To achieve tranquility, we need to learn how to observe our emotions, recognize the signs of anger, and find ways to soothe them. There are many methods to cultivate tranquility, such as meditation, yoga, deep breathing exercises, or simply taking time for oneself to relax, read, or listen to music. Tranquility is not just a psychological state, but also an art of living. When we know how to live tranquilly, we will find peace, happiness, and the true meaning of life. We will be able to face all difficulties and challenges with calmness and wisdom and find the best solutions. We will be able to build good relationships, spread love, and create positive values for society. Tranquility is a hidden strength within every soul. Discover and nurture this strength so that we can live a meaningful, fulfilling, and happy life. Moreover, to weaken the seed of anger, we need to water other good seeds. Spend time on activities that nourish the soul, such as meditation, reading, listening to music, or simply enjoying nature. Meet positive people, learn from their good values, do useful things for society, help those in need. Life is not always smooth and peaceful. There will be times when we face difficulties and challenges, times when we feel tired and discouraged. But no matter the circumstances, always remember that our loved ones are the ones who stand by us, share our joys and sorrows, and encourage us to overcome all difficulties. Do not let temporary emotions hurt them. Cherish and love them, because they are the most precious gifts life has given us. When we nurture good seeds, they will gradually grow stronger, overshadowing the seeds of anger. We will become more peaceful, loving, and happier. We will no longer be victims of anger, but masters of ourselves. Additionally, we need to learn how to forgive and let go. When we forgive others, we free ourselves from the bondage of resentment. When we let go of negative emotions, we open our hearts to embrace the good things in life. The seed of anger within us can be a challenge, but it is also an opportunity for us to learn and grow. When we learn to control our anger, we will become stronger and more peaceful. We will be able to build good relationships, live a meaningful and happy life. In the storm of emotions, when anger tears at the heart like a fierce beast, let reason guide the way and regain your calm. The 4 simple yet effective steps below will help you control your rage and find peace within your soul. Step 1. Breathe deeply. Dispel the fog of anger. When anger strikes, instead of letting it erupt into shouts or uncontrolled actions, pause and take a deep breath. Each inhale is like a cool stream refreshing your soul, washing away worries and anger. Imagine you are inhaling fresh, soothing blue air and exhaling fiery red breaths, carrying away all the toxins of anger. With just a few minutes of stillness, you will feel a miraculous change in your mood. Step 2. Relax your body. Release negative energy. When anger reaches its peak, our bodies often become tense, fists clench, shoulders tighten. Release those fists, let your shoulders relax, and feel your body gradually become soft and gentle. Let all tension dissolve with each breath, like dark clouds dissipating into the sky. Step 3. Unburden your mind. Write down your feelings. When your mind is calmer, find a quiet place, take out a pen and paper, and write down the things that made you angry. Don't hesitate or hide anything. Write down all the thoughts and feelings that are weighing on your heart. Writing not only helps you relieve stress, but also helps you see the problem more objectively. Step 4. See the problem in a wider picture. Finally, put your anger into a broader context. Will this still matter tomorrow, next week, next month, or even a year from now? By looking at the issue over time, you will realize that anger is just a temporary emotion, not worth sacrificing your peace and happiness. These 4 simple steps, if practiced regularly, will help you become calmer and wiser in all situations. Remember, you have the power to control your emotions. Don't let anger control you. Let reason guide you, so you can live a peaceful and happy life. The organic nature of love and anger. Initially, love is like a miracle, a sweet dream that takes us to a radiant paradise. Every glance, every smile, every touch brings boundless happiness. We are immersed in warmth, love, and believe that this happiness will last forever. But then, like a sudden storm, that person leaves, leaving us alone in an undefined space. Love breaks, paradise collapses, leaving only the ruins of sweet memories. The pain is like 1,000 knives piercing the heart. Despair and anger drown us in darkness. We fall into a deep abyss, an earthly hell where only pain and loneliness reign. But where does this hell come from? Does it exist outside, or is it created by our own minds? When we cling to the past, to lost, sweet memories, we imprison ourselves in a prison of suffering. When we nurture anger and resentment, we burn our souls in the fires of hell. When we close our hearts, not allowing ourselves to love and be loved, we build a wall separating us from happiness. So how do we escape this hell? The answer lies in our own minds. When we realize that hell is not a specific place but a state of mind, we can begin the journey of liberation. Instead of clinging to the past, learn to let go. Accept the truth that everything changes. Instead of nurturing anger, learn to forgive, both that person and yourself. Instead of closing your heart, open it to receive the good things that await us ahead. Love and anger, seemingly opposite, share a common trait. They are both organic, capable of changing and transforming over time. Love can initially be passionate, intense, making us feel unable to live without the other person. However, if not nurtured and cared for properly, it can fade and even turn into anger and resentment. This change can come from many causes, such as lack of sincere communication, unrealistic expectations, selfishness, or lack of mutual respect. When these factors appear, misunderstandings and conflicts easily arise, hurting love and pushing it to the brink of anger. However, we are not helpless in the face of this transformation. Practicing mindfulness in love is the key to preventing love from turning into anger. Mindfulness helps us become aware of our emotions, stay calm in the face of anger, communicate more effectively, and understand and empathize with our partner. When we practice mindfulness, we learn to listen and understand our partner deeply, thereby building a strong relationship based on mutual respect and understanding. Love will no longer be a fragile flower, but will become a lush garden, always watered and cared for, to continuously blossom and bear fruit. Mindfulness is the key to unlocking the door to hell, bringing us back to moments of peace. When we practice mindfulness, we learn to observe our emotions and thoughts without judgment. We realize that pain and anger are only temporary states. They come and go like passing breezes. We learn to live in the present, cherish every moment, every breath. We learn to love ourselves, accept our flaws, and from there, we can open our hearts to love others sincerely. The journey out of hell is not easy, but it is entirely possible. With perseverance and courage, we can overcome suffering, find peace and happiness in our souls. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. Many people have gone through similar suffering and have found the light at the end of the tunnel. Believe in yourself, believe in the power of mindfulness, and you will find the path to liberation. Instead of focusing on punishing others, focus on healing your own emotional wounds. Take time for yourself. Do things you love. Meet people you cherish. Seek support from friends, family, or mental health professionals if needed. When we know how to take care of our anger, we will see that it no longer has the power to destroy us. We will become calmer, more lucid, and able to view situations more objectively. We will no longer be caught in the cycle of resentment and hatred, but will be able to forgive others and ourselves. Remember, happiness is a choice we all make. Do not let anger steal your happiness. Learn to control it so that you can live a peaceful and meaningful life. In the journey of being together, storms will inevitably arise, misunderstandings and conflicts will cloud the sky of love like dark clouds. But do not be discouraged, because it is in these difficult moments that we have the opportunity to understand each other more deeply, to empathize and heal emotional wounds. To do this, sincere sharing is the golden key to open the door of trust and understanding. Although sometimes opening up to express your true thoughts and feelings can be challenging, remember that both of you have made a sacred promise to always listen and understand each other. When one of you is harboring anger, give them the space and time to express everything that is on their mind. Do not interrupt, do not refute, do not justify. Simply listen. Listen with all your heart, with empathy and understanding. Let them release all the burdens in their heart so that the pain can be shared and misunderstandings can be resolved. When it is your turn to share, speak out all that weighs heavily on your mind, the deepest feelings you have never dared to express. This is not only your right but also your responsibility towards the relationship. Speak with kind words, with calmness and respect, so that the other person can feel your sincerity and goodwill. If, during the conversation, you feel like you're losing control, don't hesitate to suggest taking a break and postponing the discussion to another time. Give each other time to reflect and see things more objectively. Practice mindful breathing and walking meditation to bring peace and tranquility to your soul. When our souls become peaceful, we can face each other with more sincerity and openness. Remember, the purpose of this conversation is not to argue or blame, but to understand and empathize with each other. Let's find solutions to our conflicts, heal the wounds, and rebuild lost trust. Let love and understanding be the beacon that guides us through all the storms of life. With sincerity and effort, we can turn challenges into opportunities to understand and love each other more deeply. The art of compassionate listening. When facing difficulties and pain, sharing and listening sincerely can be a precious remedy to soothe the soul and find peace. Compassionate listening is not only an act of kindness, but also an art that requires practice and cultivation. In reality, no matter how well-intentioned, deep listening is not always easy. Our minds are often distracted by thoughts and worries, making it difficult to fully focus on the words of others. We may hear the sounds of speech, but not truly understand the deeper meaning behind them. We may nod and smile, but our minds are wandering elsewhere. Compassionate listening requires us to set aside our own concerns and direct our full attention to the person in front of us. We listen not only with our ears, but also with our eyes, our hearts, and our entire being. We listen to understand, to empathize, to share. We listen not to judge, evaluate, or give advice, but simply to give the other person the opportunity to express their feelings and unburden their hearts. With just an hour of compassionate listening, we can help someone alleviate a great deal of suffering. Because when they are listened to sincerely, they feel understood, accepted, and loved. Their pain is shared. The burden in their hearts is lifted. They feel they are no longer alone, but have a friend to accompany them on the path through difficulties. To listen deeply, we need to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness helps us keep our minds awake and focused on the present. When we follow our breath, we return to the present moment, not being carried away by wandering thoughts. We maintain the intention to help the other person, listening to them with all our care and love. Listening not only helps others lessen their suffering, but also brings many benefits to ourselves. When we listen with compassion, we open our hearts, nurturing compassion and empathy. We learn to see the world through the eyes of others, understanding the difficulties and pain they are experiencing. From there, we become more tolerant, generous, and loving. Furthermore, deep listening helps us improve our communication skills, building deep and meaningful relationships. When we know how to listen, we gain the trust and willingness of others to share. We will have more friends, colleagues, and loved ones. Listening is a priceless gift that we can give to others and to ourselves. Let's practice listening every day to make our lives and the lives of those around us better. Sometimes, anger strikes like a sudden storm, sweeping away all peace in our souls. Despite trying all methods of transformation, we still find ourselves sinking deep into the black hole of negative emotions. At this time, try a simple yet surprisingly effective method. Give that person a gift. It may sound surprising, but this is a subtle way to transform anger into love. When we are angry, we often want the other person to suffer similar pain. But giving a gift is a completely opposite action. We wish for their happiness instead of suffering. Imagine, in the midst of anger, we go out and buy a gift for the person we are resenting. This action requires us to put aside negative emotions, focus on the good qualities of that person, and think about the joy the gift will bring them. This process helps us see the situation more objectively, thereby soothing anger and opening the door to forgiveness. Don't wait until you're angry to buy a gift. Prepare small, lovely gifts in your closet when your soul is full of love and gratitude. And when anger strikes, take out a gift and give it to that person. You will be surprised at the wonderful effectiveness of this method. Giving a gift is not only a way to soothe your own anger, but also a way to express love and care for others. It helps heal cracks in relationships, bringing joy and happiness to both the giver and the receiver. Let small gifts become a bridge of love, helping us overcome anger and build better relationships. Understanding the impermanence of life also means recognizing that all emotions within us, no matter how intense, are temporary. Just like the clouds in the sky that constantly change shape, our emotions come and go. Nothing is permanent. When anger arises, treat it like a friend, an uninvited guest. Instead of resisting or trying to eliminate it, learn to observe it calmly. Allow it to be present in your soul, but do not let it control or define you. Rather than judging or blaming yourself for negative emotions, view anger as a lesson, an opportunity to gain a deeper understanding of yourself. Anger is not an enemy. It is merely a part of the natural range of emotions we experience. When we observe anger with acceptance and do not identify with it, we realize that it is just a passing experience, not our true essence. In this way, we do not get swept away by immediate emotional reactions, but instead maintain peace in our minds. Imagine anger as a wave that comes and goes on the ocean of the soul. If we learn to stand still, observe, and feel it without reacting or judging, anger will naturally dissolve like a wave that crashes on the shore and then retreats. Through this, we learn to live with calmness, free from the fluctuations of emotions, and find true balance in life. Life, when all is said and done, is just a series of fleeting moments we're given. No matter how long or short our time may be, it passes by at a breathtaking speed, and every second that goes by can never be reclaimed. So why should we allow anger, a destructive and negative emotion, to torment us? Anger, if left unchecked, is like a smoldering fire that burns away all the goodness in our souls. It not only hurts us, but also diminishes the precious values in life, such as love, compassion, and understanding. When we spend too much time being angry, we waste precious moments that could be better used for loving, enjoying life, and growing. Anger does not solve problems. It only makes us more tired and miserable. It is like drinking poison and hoping that the other person will die, an act of self-harm rather than harming others. Every minute we live in anger, we rob ourselves of the opportunity to experience happiness and peace. Think about the moments when we let anger take over our minds. Were we truly happy or at ease? Or were we merely trapping ourselves in an endless cycle of tension and fatigue? Life is too short to be wasted on negative emotions. We should learn to let go, not necessarily to forgive others, but to free ourselves from the burden of psychological pain. Forgiveness is not a sign of weakness, but rather an expression of inner strength and wisdom. We need to realize that life is more valuable than meaningless arguments and petty conflicts. Spend your time appreciating the people you love, enjoying simple pleasures, and facing difficulties with calmness. In doing so, we not only make our own lives more meaningful, but also create positive impacts on those around us. Do not let anger torment you and consume your precious life. Instead, choose to live with gratitude, compassion, and peace in your heart.